Hi everyone, it's Gavin J, the best thing since Frost. And you're listening to the Therapy Suite right here on UK Radio, the world's number one talk health radio. This week, I interview author and wellbeing consultant Hansa Pankhania about stress and wellbeing. Hansa, welcome to the show. How are you doing?
I'm doing really well, Gavin. Thank you for having me here. And I'm delighted to be here with your listeners.
Brilliant. And thank you for taking the time out for us, of course,
It's my pleasure.
How was your Christmas, by the way? Was it good?
Christmas was lovely, yes. It was a mix of socializing and catching up with friends and family and having lots of fun, food, etc. And I also had some downtime to read and just relax. So it was a nice balance. Yeah, it was lovely. Thank you, Gavin.
Brilliant. Glad to hear it. Yeah, Christmas is always a good time with family and everyone, etc. Hands up. I think it will be brilliant for our listeners to hear a bit more about yourself and your background and how you got to where you are today. So feel free just to go for it and talk to us a bit more about your background.
Okay, sure. So on a personal level, I was born in Kenya, in a little town called Thika, just outside of Nairobi. I came to UK about 50 years ago. I'm married with two children and 4 beautiful grandchildren.
That must keep you busy.
That keeps me busy, but like happy busy.
Of course.
I enjoy singing and yoga, meditation, those kind of things, walking, spending time in nature. So that's me on a personal level. On a professional level, I am a head of Home Wellbeing Consultancy and a published author of 7 books on well-being for adults and children. My memoir, which is called Best of 3 Worlds, talks about my early life in Africa and how I happened to be born in Africa of Indian origin as a British subject. And it brings together the 3 fusions, the Indian, African, and English, the cultures, the colonial history. And it also talks about my passion for making a difference through the kind of work that I do, which is coaching, training, speaking, and writing. So all these things are just a channel for helping people and helping people to make positive changes in their lives and to live healthy, well, and meaningful lives, whether it's at work or whether it's at home. So, those are my values that I kind of pass through the work that I do, speaking, coaching, writing, etc. So that's a little bit about me, Gavin.
Brilliant. Thank you. That's loads. That's brilliant. I think it's excellent. You've done it so well and, you have so many books, but we're going to talk a bit more about this stuff anyway. Basically, tell me more about your new book, Stress to Success in 28 Days.
Okay. So this was published about a year ago. So firstly, our brand of well-being is one where the tips we pass, they do not cost anything and they can be easily integrated into a very busy routine and they have no side effects. So these are just techniques that are natural. You can integrate them into your everyday things, during your normal high pressure routine. So the book is a compilation, Stress to Success in 28 Days, is a compilation of all these kind of stress management tips that I gathered through my professional journey. So I did research in university on stress, and then I've done lots of other work on stress. I worked in companies across the country, up to about 300. And so all along on my journey, I came across these kind of simple techniques that I myself have integrated into my life. And because I can see that they make so much difference to how I feel, the aim is to share it with as many people as possible. So the Stress to Success in 28 is a compilation of all these techniques, and I've turned it into a 4-week program that you can practice, a technique every day, and you do that for 28 days. And at the end so you don't have to do it straightforward in 28 days. You can kind of work through the program at your own pace. And at the end of the program, you would have acquired 6 or 7 techniques that you love and that you have found very easy to assimilate into your routine. And once you start doing this on a regular basis, you see that your well-being accelerates, you are calm and you are focused, your relationships improve. And so the book is in 4 chapters: breath, mind, body, and relationships. And the chapters are under these headings. So it'll benefit all these areas of your life.
That's brilliant. So there's 28. Okay, so there's stages to it basically, and taking us from the beginning, is it, going forwards? Is that right?
There is, yes. So in the first chapter, you learn some breathing techniques. In the second chapter, you learn about how to keep your body healthy. In the third chapter, you learn how to control your mind and keep yourself calm and focused. And in the fourth chapter, we talk about how to not get stressed by your relationships and how to have more meaningful, healthy relationships. So in that way, we have covered all areas of your life, more or less. And when you take a few techniques away from each of these areas, it will impact and make positive changes in all areas of your life.
It's like a beginner's guide, isn't it, to managing stress? It's like, from the beginning, this is what you do just to begin with, and it takes you into more of the depth. Is that right? It sounds like that kind of...
Yes. So stress is very complex because there are so many variables to stress. There are internal things that cause us stress. There are external things that cause us stress. And the book simplifies this for you, and it simplifies, it helps you to address, it helps you to understand, what are your issues that cause you stress, because something that causes stress to one person may not cause stress to another person. So it helps you to identify the things that basically work for you, and it helps you to identify what you need to do and what are the things that stress you and what are the things that will work for you, because you will have trialed a range of techniques and you take away what works for you from there.
You are so correct when you say that, because stress, you're right, it's very complex, isn't it? The triggers and the effects of what might happen, it varies so much person to person, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. It does, yes. So, if you want to hear a little bit more about it, I can tell you, what the major sources of stress for
please
people
do.
might be. Yeah,
100%.
Okay. So as I said, there are many, many variables to stress. There are the internal things. So the internal things that stress us are, for example, our negative attitudes, our beliefs. So if you believe, for example, that you're not good enough, or if you believe that you will always make mistakes, then these things will really stress you out. But on the other hand, if you believe that you are a good person and you don't judge yourself in any way, or you believe that mistakes is okay, it's a learning process, then that's not going to stress you out. So there are these internal factors that impact on your stress levels. Then, Gavin, there's all these external factors, family, work, relationships, environment, lifestyle choices, all these things that our body has to cope with on a day-to-day basis, which is also causing stress. And as I said before, for everybody, it's different. So maybe walking to work may not stress you out, but it may stress another person out. So everybody has their own kind of stresses that impact them in their own way. So the books that I write and the blogs that I write are about helping you to identify, what are the things that stress you and how does this impact on you, and what are the things that will help you, because again, one thing that will help you may not help another person. So it helps you to be more aware of you as a person more aware of what works for you, what doesn't work for you. And then it gives you the tools and the techniques to address the stress and enhance your well-being.
It's a lot of self-talk almost, isn't it? Basically, I think sometimes we can be negative. I think, and positive, but I think generally speaking, when you get those negative thoughts and then you start feeding them, it's almost like you need to have a second voice saying, hold on a second, actually, and then giving the positive side of things. And it sounds like your book does some of that. Is that right?
So the chapter on mind is exactly about that. It's about paying attention to whatever thoughts are and whatever beliefs are, understanding what they are, and are they doing us good or are they doing us bad? And if they're doing us bad and stressing us out, then it gives you the techniques to turn it around. Yes, so the chapter on mind addresses exactly what you are saying, Gavin.
Oh, that's brilliant. Are there more techniques as well that's used at all?
Beg your pardon?
Are there more techniques to manage stress? I know one of them's breathing.
Yes.
There's a breathing exercise. Is that right?
Yeah. So if you want, if your listeners keep a pen and a pencil handy, and a piece of paper handy, and maybe stop doing what they're doing at the moment, and I can take them through some relaxation techniques. But
should I be like a guinea pig? Should I be like a guinea pig?
Sorry?
Should I be like a guinea pig? I've got my notepad out.
You can, yeah. But let's give your listeners a little bit of time to be prepared.
Brilliant. Okay.
Because they might be kind of doing other things as they are listening to us at the moment.
Okay.
So if they stop whatever they're doing, put that down, get into a space where they won't be disturbed, keep a paper and a piece of pen handy, and then they can, when they're ready, in a little while, I can maybe share those techniques and take them through them.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
So are we doing those now? I thought we were going to...
I thought we were just waiting for our listeners to get ready so we could do them.
A few more questions until your listeners were ready.
I thought, do you know what I thought? I thought we were getting them ready now. I thought that was enough time.
Oh, right. Okay. I thought that we were going to talk a little bit more and then give them time.
No, our listeners are ready. Don't worry. This is also going to be, just to let listeners know, this is also listen on demand.
Okay,
so
right.
They can just pause it as well. Right, even though I think we've given enough silence anyway, but they can pause it as well. So let's do some breathing techniques or whatever.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll take you through mindfulness technique and body scan. So this is really good for our mind and to relax our bodies as well at the same time. And as you know that our mind and body and our breathing is all connected. So these techniques will address all these areas of your life, okay? So wherever your listeners are, hello everyone, just sit back in your chairs or in your sofas, wherever you are, uncross your arms and legs. If you want to close your eyes, you can, or you can lower your eyes if you don't feel comfortable closing them at this moment. And just take your attention inside your body. It's really important to listen to our body for the signs of stress every day, because when you don't listen to your body, the stress builds up, and eventually it can cause physical illness and kind of mental illness. So the first thing that you need to be doing every day is to listen out for these little signs of stress in your body so you can address and nip them in the bud straight away. So take your attention in your body and listen to what your body is saying just for a few moments. If you want, you can make a note on your notepad about anything significant that you have heard and that you want to pay attention to. And just get into the habit of doing this every day. And now let's move on to the technique of mindfulness. Mindfulness is really simple. It just means paying attention to your breath and being in tune with your breath. So just notice your breath in your body. As you breathe in and out, there's a movement in your body, a rise and fall of your chest and your abdomen. If the movement is just in your chest, try and take it lower down into your belly to deepen your breath. And just notice the rise and fall of your breath as you breathe in and as you breathe out. To develop this technique further, you can either in your mind say in and out as you breathe in and out, or you could count the breaths to 10 and then start again to 10. So let's just do 10 breaths before we move on to the next technique. So we'll move on to the body scan now. So I'd like you to take your attention to your face and just relax your face. Your mind is very powerful. When your mind tells your body, sends your body a command, your body listens. So just ask your face to relax. Imagine that all the expressions you've been wearing today are wiped off from your face, and your face is completely relaxed. And now relax the back of your head, your neck, your shoulders. Drop your shoulders. This is where you hold a lot of stress. Now relax your arms and your hands. Relax your chest and your belly. Relax the whole of your back, from the top of your neck to the base of your spine. And allow this beautiful relaxation to spread down into your pelvic area, your thighs, your knees, your ankles, your feet, and your toes. Imagine all the stress from the top of your neck flowing down into your toes, out through your toes, through the layers of the earth, through the building and layers of the earth, right to the center of the earth, where it's transmuted into this beautiful, vibrant white light. And bring the white light in reverse order back into your body, through the layers of the earth, through the building, through your toes, flowing up your body, up, right up to your head, flowing out and making this beautiful 4 feet round bubble around you. And at all times, keep yourself in this bubble full of white light. And now, for the last part of our practice, take 3 deep breaths into your belly and breathe out very slowly. 1, 2, 3. And now just gently move your arms and feet. open your eyes in your own time and come back to this program, Gavin and myself, Hansa Pankhania.
You know what? I so wanted to just go to sleep. Do you know that? I was relaxing.
How was that, Gavin?
I had to keep my eyes open though, because I thought if I close my eyes now, it is all over. Oh, it's such a long day as well.
Yes.
It's very relaxing, and you're so right. When you say certain things to your body, it listens basically. I think, but you need to be in a quiet environment. I think you need to be in the right environment. And because I think if there's noise, I'm not sure it'll work as well. But if you're in a quiet environment and you do those things and you just completely let go and follow your instructions, you really feel relaxed. I mean, really feel relaxed. So that was brilliant. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we do some more? No.
So the important thing is that you should be doing something to address every aspect of your body, because you know that we are made up of the mind, of the physical body. We have a social circle around us. We have relationships. We have a spiritual side to us as well. So, and we have an emotional side to ourselves as well. So it's really important that you address and flush out all the stress from all aspects of you as a human being. So you have to integrate a range of techniques, and the Stress to Success in 28 Days gives you the repertoire and this range that I'm talking about. Because if you, Gavin, if you imagine a machine and you just keep servicing one part of the machine and not the others, the machine is going to break down, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
So as human beings, we are the human machine as well. And so we need to service and nourish all parts of our body to keep it healthy and wholesome. So the techniques we did address your mind and your body. But so it's very important to have some physical activity every day for the body. It's important to engage in some kind of a spiritual practice. And by that I don't mean religious practice. You could go and engage with nature or go out in nature. You could just do some breathing techniques. These are, in some ways, spiritual activities. You need to speak to people, and engage with people on a social level. You need to give gratitude and thanks for all the good things that you have in your life. You need to foster love and compassion for yourself as well as others. You need to flush out all the negative emotions that are piling up inside of you. And often I give the metaphor of the stress spot to my clients. So if the stress is building up in your body and you're bottling it up, eventually it becomes like a big pot which will weigh you down, and drain you of all the energy, and you would lose motivation to be social and to interact in a good way with the people around you. So you need to flush this stress out on a regular basis. It's the same as going to the toilet every day, and because stress is an abstract toxin, you can't see it, but it is building up in your body every day. So you have to find these different ways of flushing it out every day. And another way of flushing out emotional toxins is to write out your negative feelings. So for example, if you are feeling angry, you just take a piece of paper and you say, I'm feeling angry because, and then you just keep writing. And the activity of writing helps you to empty it out of your stress spot. So literally you are spilling the stress from the stress spot inside of you onto the piece of paper. So I'm kind of taking you through a range of things, that you need to integrate every day in your body and to have a routine for these things. So for example, if I give an example of what I do every day, this might give a good overview to your listeners. So for example, in the morning, I do some yoga and then I meditate, which is my spiritual and practice. Then at lunchtime, I go for a walk, which is my physical practice. at the end of the working day, I will, anything that's playing on your mind or any frustrations that I might have, I write them out. So this is my emotional practice, and at the end of the day, before I go to bed, I give gratitude and send love and compassion to all the people that I love and everyone on the planet. So I have developed a routine where I'm addressing each part of my human machine every day and doing the appropriate technique to keep that healthy and nourished and stress-free. So it's just important for us to be doing that. Because when I speak to clients, when clients are stressed and they come to me, they says, I was really stressed and I joined the gym, and there is this myth that if you're stressed and you join the gym, everything will be fine. So joining the gym is great, and for those people who can keep it up, it is really great. But it addresses the physical side of the stress. It addresses your physical body, and you need to build your repertoire to address other aspects of your body as well. So these are the kind of things that we talk about in Stress to Success in 28 Days.
Do you know what? We were so into that exercise, I forgot that we need to go to an ad break. So we're going to a quick ad break and we'll be right back.
UK Health Radio, the station that makes you feel good. UK Health Radio, the station that makes you feel good.
So Hansa, that was brilliant, going through the exercise and then talking us a bit more through stress. There's another book, I believe, that you've compiled. Mm-hmm. You are also a children's author, and the latest book you've done is Chakraji, Children's Relaxation. Is that right?
Yes, that's right, yeah.
Inspired by your granddaughter?
It was, yes, Gavin. Yes, it was. So, as you know, I write wellbeing books. I offer coaching and speaking, and our brand of wellbeing is the natural wellbeing, no side effects. Doesn't cost you anything. Doesn't need any extra time in your routine. It's techniques you can integrate very simply in your day-to-day routine. So I've published quite a few books for adults on this subject. And during the pandemic, I noticed that my granddaughter was having some difficulty with articulating what was going on, and she didn't have the means to address whatever stress or anxiety she may have about the pandemic. So it gave me an idea. I thought, I'm doing all this for adults. Perhaps I could do something for children in a similar way and pass these kind of natural techniques to children. And this is how my children's books came about. So there's 4 on Amazon at the moment. The latest one is Chakraji Relaxation Series. And Chakraji is a magical character for the child. So the books are appropriate for primary age children. And so I developed this character called Chakraji, who is the child's magical friend. And in each of there's 6 books in the Chakraji series, and in each book, a child is upset about a different issue, and then this magical bird, a different bird in each book, a different background, and in each of the books. So, this magical bird comes, takes the child away over the mountains or the sea or whatever background is in that particular book to meet this magical character called Chakraji. And then Chakraji passes a very simple, natural technique to the child. And the child then comes back on the back of the bird. And the bird also teaches the child some positive affirmations. And so the child is learning the skills, the natural tools and techniques to cope with situations when he or she is upset. And so this is a picture book. The illustrations are beautiful. My illustrator, Anne-Marie Sonneveld, has done an excellent job with the illustrations. I hope your listeners will get copies of the book for their children. The interesting thing, Gavin, that I want to mention is the feedback I'm getting from parents is that when they're reading the book to their child at bedtime, they are also feeling very relaxed.
That's
taking
good.
the child through the relaxation practice. So in the book, I encourage the parents or the carers to do the practice with the child. And so they are saying that, my child was really hyper the whole day, but when we did the relaxation, he or she calmed down. But I also felt very relaxed, after reading the books. So the parents are enjoying the illustrations and they're enjoying the natural practices that I'm passing to the children as well. And so that's the feedback I'm getting. So
brilliant.
If your listeners get a copy of the books, it will not only help the children.
It's a two-way process. Two-way.
Sure. Yeah.
With kids, I never thought that children experience that much stress. I'll be honest with you. That's just from when I've been growing up, and I think I stereotype children. They're always kind of hyperactive. They're running around, blah blah blah, and I just didn't. And also their life experiences. They're still young and they're being looked after. And I just didn't feel that children experience much stress. Obviously, maybe education, that could be one factor, don't get me wrong. There might be some other factors as well, but it just never, it's not something that stood out to me like, children get really stressed out. I mean, I'm completely wrong, but,
I would slightly disagree with you.
I know, I want you to.
Because if we are a human being, whether we are a child or an adult, we will experience stress because our life throws things at us all the time, to children and adults as well. And it'll throw us off of our balance, So, for example, if a child is with their mom or dad for a number of years and then suddenly has to go to nursery or school, that's a very big change for the child. And this will mean that the child will go off balance to some point. And the only difference between adults and children is that children can't articulate. They haven't got the words to articulate stress. But this stress will manifest in different ways, through their behavior. So if a child is with their mother for 5 years and then has to go to school and finds that difficult, in the morning, the child might say, I've got a bellyache, I don't feel very well today. So they wouldn't say, I'm stressed. This is a really big change for me, Mom. I can't handle it. I'm with you all day. Now I'm with 20 other kids and this is a bit overwhelming for me. The child will not have the language and won't be able to articulate that. So the child will articulate through some kind of behavior. They might have tantrums, or they'll start, they might withdraw into themselves and not say much to people. They might pick up some psychosomatic symptoms. So children get stressed as well, And during the pandemic, I found that a lot of children were getting very anxious. They didn't have the language to articulate that and express this. And this is where the Chakraji books came up.
Oh, brilliant. Okay. We're just going to another quick ad break and we'll be right back.
UK Health Radio, the station that makes you feel good. UK Health Radio, the station that makes you feel good.
So Hansa, you also help run businesses basically in terms of with your stress management business through wellbeing consultancy. Is that right?
Yes, that's right.
Tell us a bit more about that.
Okay, yeah. So My life as an author came after setting up own wellbeing consultancy. So the books are basically the work that I do and the inspiration from my clients and the work that I do. But about 20 years ago, I set up own wellbeing consultancy. And through the consultancy, we offer training and coaching to employees and managers in stress management, resilience building, mindfulness, and related topics. Our signature course is for managers because I don't know whether you know this or some of your listeners may not be aware of this, but every organization, every workplace has a legal duty to address stress and mental health issues. So, and they should have a policy and a protocol for doing so. So our signature course is training managers in how to apply their legal duty so that they can address stress and mental health issues within their organizations and their teams. But the most important thing, Gavin, is that firstly, managers should be able to deal with their own stress. So the first part of our training is about helping managers to deal with their individual stress, because only then will they be able to support their team and fulfill their legal obligations. And we also train them to have a protocol for applying their legal obligations. So we train them on how to identify stress in their teams, how to approach their employees, what to do once they have identified a particular stressor, in an employee or within the whole organization, and what are some ways they could deal with it. And overall, over a period of time, how can they develop this culture in their businesses where there is no stigma attached to stress or mental health, and people can talk freely, they feel safe to talk about these issues, they feel safe to approach their manager, and to have that kind of caring, open, safe workplace culture where employees can talk freely and get the support that they need if they're experiencing any kind of stress.
No, absolutely, yeah. No, I think that's fantastic, and I think organizations like yourself must be quite invaluable to businesses and that kind of thing. Is there any more plans for wellbeing consultancy in the future to expand or take on more clients or anything like that?
Yes, so I have a team of affiliates across the UK. They are from Edinburgh to Bournemouth, and we have some in Europe as well, Ireland. So we can take as much or as little work that we need. When we get an inquiry, I will assign that piece of work to one of my affiliates and oversee the project. And it could be a single manager wanting coaching on something that he or she is finding very stressful, and it could just be one-to-one work, several sessions of one-to-one coaching to support that manager. Or it could be a big project that needs cascading through the whole organization. So firstly, doing a stress risk assessment to identify where the stress is, the pockets of stress are, then developing bespoke programs for managers and employees, delivering those programs, maybe training people within the organizations to champion, stress and well-being within their organizations, and then setting up those structures so that the work that we have started off is that continued afterwards, and that the organization has the skills to manage stress, mental health issues, and enhance well-being. I think a lot of organizations don't recognize that they shouldn't only address stress because it's a legal duty. Addressing stress has many other benefits. It increases productivity. It builds loyalty for their employees. It reduces sickness, absences. It saves them loads and loads of money. In short, because when they nip an issue that's causing stress in the bud, they could have saved themselves lots and lots of money, which a stressful situation having cascaded would have created. So these are all the skills that we pass on to employees and managers when we work with organizations.
Brilliant. That's fantastic. What are some of your top tips for managing stress?
So my top tips are, I think I've already mentioned before, is about addressing every aspect of our human machine. So have some physical activity every day, go out for a walk, in nature preferably, do some breathing and relaxation, do some meditation. Don't bottle up your emotions, write them out or speak to somebody that you trust. Engage in gratitude and in love and compassionate techniques. So I would say that, those are my favorite ones and the main ones.
Gratitude is so important, isn't it? I've been practicing a lot of gratitude, to be honest with you, in the last 1 year. And I hear it more and more. I don't know what it is. I think since COVID, I heard it even more.
Yeah.
And just about appreciating what you already have and what's going on. Things, no matter how bad things are, just appreciating, looking at the positives now. It's a way of looking at a positive, isn't it? Like, this might be going in the wrong direction or the direction I don't want it to be going in, which I'm trying to act on at the moment. But let's look at these other things that are going so well, and it's a way of kind of just appreciating, isn't it?
So I'll tell you a secret. When you think something, every cell in your body is responding to it, right? So if your thought is the right kind, it will nourish every cell in your body. But if your thought is the wrong kind, it will stress every cell in your body. Okay, so gratitude works on that basis. So because you are giving the neurons in your brain positive messages, that's having a positive impact on every cell in your body. And it's the same for love and compassion. So if your mind says, for example, I don't deserve this, for example, then that message is passed to every cell in your body, and it will stress every cell in your body out. But if you say to yourself, actually, I'm a good person and I'm safe and I'm loved, and I'm grateful for all the things that were given to me today, then that's the message that every cell in your body is picking up and it's responding in a positive way. So that's the power of love and compassion and gratitude.
I didn't know that. That's amazing. Do you know that? It can affect your cells and they always say if you keep a positive mind, things work out so much better rather than because it's almost like you're programming. It's a bit like NLP, isn't it? You're programming your mind.
The law of attraction.
Yes, law of attraction, the secret and all that. We won't go there today. No, there's not enough time to deal with that. But basically, have you got any other books that you're writing at the moment or planning to write?
Yes. So at the moment, I am researching the connection between well-being and sustainability. As you know, Gavin, climate crisis is a big issue, and I'm trying to do my bit in terms of encouraging my clients and my readers to make some simple changes into their daily routine. But because my industry is well-being and my first love is how we can enhance and accelerate our well-being, I'm trying to do the crossover into how this also is good for the planet, So when you live a sustainable life, how will that enhance and ignite your well-being as well, So, for example, if you, for a short journey, don't take the car to the shops and you walk instead, you are saving petrol, you are reducing your carbon footprint, but it's also benefiting you because you've got the physical exercise and fresh air that day. So I'm now collecting those kind of techniques that when you integrate those kind of well-being techniques into your day, how would you choose the techniques that would also be good in terms of living a sustainable, eco-friendly life, and how would it benefit the planet as well? So that's the research I'm doing at the moment.
Brilliant. That sounds really interesting.
And I may add it to my Stress to Success series, and it may be called Stress to Sustainability, but I'm at the very early stages of research at the moment, so I don't know where that one's going.
Where can people find your books?
So my books they're all available on Amazon. If you type my name in the search box, Hansa, which is spelled Hansa, and my second name is spelled Pankhania, which is spelled P for Peter, A for Apple, N for Nelly, K for Gavin, H for Harry, A for Apple, N for Nelly, I for India, A for Apple. So if you type Hansa Pankhania in Amazon, all my books will come up. They're also available on my website, hansapankhania.com. And for any of your listeners who wish to contact me, all they need to do is go to hansapankhania.com. All my contact details are there. I'll be really, really happy to hear from your listeners. In particular, any feedback on what they have heard today. If there's anything that's stressing them that they need support with, me and my team will be really happy to help them. And they can drop me a text on my business telephone number, which is 07888747438. The number's also on the hansapankhania.com site. So you've got all the books on there. You've got the book launches on there, and you've got some, other you've got the link on there to our AUM Wellbeing Consultancy site as well, our corporate site as well. So all you need to do is just go to hansapankhania.com.
Brilliant. Hansa, thank you so much for today. We've run out of time, unfortunately, but thank you very much. Much appreciate that.
Yeah. It's been wonderful, Gavin. Thank you for your time.
No
Bless you all.
And thank you to our listeners. You can find me on Instagram at GavinJ417. Until next time, take care.